Hello people, Noob aqui de volta com vocês, Noob Detetive, com o nosso queridíssimo detetive Hercule Poirot, aqui no Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot First Cases, ok? Vamos continuar para descobrir se foi de fato aquela Karen da senhorita Cassandra, o nome dela é Cassandra, que prendeu a pobre funcionária. Ela que tá tentando dar o golpe do baú. O que está acontecendo nessa residência? Mas antes, já convido você a deixar um gostei nesse vídeo para trazer mais conteúdo como esse, se inscrever no canal e vambora! Olha só. Nós temos a Angeline, que é a filha, né, da madame lá não sei das quantas. Embora seja jovem, está claro que ela é decidida e não tem medo de se expressar. Sua vida de regalia sem preocupações deu a ela uma noção de direito adquirido que espero não ser um empecilho à minha investigação. Beleza. Aí temos a Cassandra, que eu falei, que é a chefe da casa lá. Madame Vanderbosch, a senhora da casa, snob e indelicada, ela não parece disposta a cooperar com a minha investigação. Já apontando o dedo para a jovem criada Florete, prevejo que convencê-la de qualquer coisa, além daquilo que ela já acredita, será um desafio. Ok. Aí nós temos a Elizabeth, que ajudou a gente no começo, né? Mademoiselle Elizabeth é uma jovem bem educada que claramente se preocupa com sua amiga e colega de trabalho, Florete. Ela é uma garota alegre e otimista e acredito que possa ser muito útil na minha investigação. De fato, foi ela que chamou. E a nossa Florete. Florete Duval, de origem pobre, nascida na classe trabalhadora. Está claro que a jovem Florete trabalha arduamente para sustentar sua mãe e 6 irmãos em casa. Caraca! O que lhe falta em educação formal, ela esbanja em perspicácia e vontade de impressionar. Maravilha. E vamos aqui para... Temos esse aqui, que é do... Temos 3 conexões aqui. Ok, vamos com calma. Tá, fuligem, atiçador abandonado, pano de limpeza. Será que liga aqui com a fuligem?
I must take a different approach if I am to uncover the truth.
Ok. Tem que conversar com quem? Com Angeline e Elizabeth. Tá. Não. Não acabei. Sem proteção de vidro. Fuligem na lareira. Será que é com atiçador, então?
Order and method. That is the way.
Gente, esse jogo, ele é meio complexo. Ele tem umas coisas que não faz sentido na minha cabeça.
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
Talvez o lace tenha sido usado para limpar o que o pano não conseguiu. Pano tá. Limpeza mal feita. Conversa com Elizabeth. Tá, já tem 2 para conversar com Elizabeth, com a moça lá. Ok. Tem esse aqui. Proteção sem vidro. Vidro quebrado. Parece que a fotografia caiu no chão e a Angeline a colocou de volta. A Angeline colocou a foto de volta no lugar. Fale com a Angeline. Ok, e temos mais uma conexão. Essa aqui.
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
Ok. Alguém tentou abrir a janela à força e pelo estado do atiçador com certa brutalidade. Quem faria algo assim e por quê? Ok. Nós temos que falar com a Angeline e com a Elizabeth. E aqui nós também temos algumas conexões a serem feitas. Inocente, itens para o café da manhã. Etiqueta com endereço, terno formal, suporte de assador, garrafa de vinho, lenço, último aviso, tá. Ok. Aqui.
I cannot see the logic in this.
Ela foi buscar o café.
I must act on thought
Ok, senhor Poirot. Eu acho que é esse aqui. Retirada, será?
Come, my little grey cells.
Tá, qual que é? Tá, etiqueta de... tá, faz sentido também.
What a revelation!
Super, o jogo não ajudou em nada. Parece que a encomenda foi retirada pessoalmente. Quem teria sido? Pacote... acho que agora aqui.
Magnifique.
Ah, e a Elizabeth deve ter solicitado a ajuda de Florete hoje de manhã, o que resultou no atraso dela. Duvido que a madame tenha ficado satisfeita com isso. Fala com quem? Com Elizabeth. Nossa, tem muita coisa pra falar com Elizabeth. Florete está fazendo um favor a Elizabeth. Certo. Será que é aqui?
I must take a different approach if I am to
O bom é que
uncover...
depois de um certo número de tentativas, o jogo me ajuda porque eu sou lesa. Ah, o atiçador abandonado, suporte de atiçador. Faz
I
sentido.
should not be surprised by my own skills of the...
Parece que a Angeline foi a última a usá-lo. O atiçador foi removido. Tá, beleza, então. A gente tem que falar com a Angeline, com a Florete e com a Elizabeth. Então vamos começar com a Elizabeth, que tá mais perto.
Certainly, officer.
Poderia me dizer algo sobre o pacote na sala de estar?
A package?
Oui, it is quite hard to miss.
Oh, how silly of me. I must have had my head in the clouds this morning. I'm sorry, I can't help you further.
Além do óbvio, houve mais algum acontecimento comum hoje de manhã?
Besides the terrible rain? No. I woke, began my duties with Mademoiselle. I had already laid out a clean dress. I helped her into it and prepared her for the day before getting started on tidying her room as neat as a pin.
And the bracelet was still there when you left the room for breakfast.
I'm sure of it. I had it down before Mademoiselle Angeline.
Notou falta de algum outro objeto ao
Now I
retornar?
think of it, I don't recall seeing her memento tin.
Caixinha de recordações. Talvez fosse isso que normalmente ficava na escrivaninha do quarto de
She holds her
Mademoiselle.
keepsakes from her father and other gifts or tokens in it. She has such a wonderful collection. She's very lucky. She normally keeps it close, but I didn't see it this morning.
Por acaso você não dá pela falta de um lenço bordado com
Why,
as
yes,
iniciais?
officer. I misplaced it after wiping a stain from Mademoiselle Angelieve's sleeve at breakfast. You are a great detective.
Peraí, uma mancha no... Mas ela não tinha acabado de colocar um vestido novo?
You are not the first to say. Had she not noticed it herself? I imagine Madame would not allow even the smallest imperfection.
It baffles me how she couldn't have. It was only luck that I spotted it before Madame, and a good thing I did.
É como Madame Van der Bosch tirar conclusões precipitadas desse
Madame
jeito?
is under a great deal of strain. It can't have been easy for her to lose her husband, raising Mademoiselle alone. She can be quick to anger.
And this morning, it sounds as though it was such an occasion.
It's not the first time I have had to stand and watch such treatment. I hate to see it. As I said, Madame hasn't had the easiest time.
Você disse que não foi a primeira vez que Madame Van der Bosch perdeu a cabeça com Florete,
Madame's
correto?
scolding of Fleurette this morning was the worst I have seen her temper. I wish you could see that Fleurette is just trying to do her best.
Could there have been another reason for such a reaction?
Madame was not happy Fleurette was late. All through breakfast, Madame was watching her with a piercing eye. But she's still learning the way.
Ok.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your assistance has been invaluable.
Ok. Novo mapa mental desbloqueado. Ok. Mademoiselle Elizabeth estava relutante em confirmar que era seu o pacote que causou o atraso da jovem Florete. Será que há algum motivo para ela evitar me falar no assunto? Se houver um motivo, devo descobrir qual é.
Come, my little grey cells. Another success.
O entalhe no banco é uma lembrança do amor secreto entre os dois. Elizabeth e Luke estão namorando. Namorando? Eles têm uma aliança.
Magnifique.
Talvez a relação seja mais séria do que eu deduzi inicialmente. Fico imaginando o que a madame teria a dizer sobre isso. Elizabeth e Luke estão comprometidos. Tem o terno.
Another success.
Fugir para se casar em segredo parece ser muito romântico, mas a necessidade de esconder o amor dos dois ainda me incomoda. Mademoiselle Elizabeth estava planejando fugir para se casar com seu amado Luke, mas por que esconder uma ocasião tão feliz? Lembro-me dela dizendo que Madame Van der Bosch não gostava de relações amorosas entre os criados, mas me parece que há algo mais nessa história. Planejam fugir para se casar, converso com Elizabeth. Oi?
Certainly, officer.
Você pareceu empolgada quando mencionei mais cedo o livro Romeo e Julieta.
I may not enjoy his other works, but how can one not be blown away by a story of two so deeply in love that they will risk everything just to be together?
Especially being able to draw similarities between Verona's star-crossed lovers to yourself and your dearest.
But I hadn't told.
Mademoiselle, I am an officer of the law. It is my duty to uncover the truth.
Please, you cannot say anything to Madame. She is against staff relationships of any kind. In her eyes, a relationship between staff is nothing more than a distraction.
But he means so much more to you.
Oh, officer, I have found my soulmate. At first, it was nothing more than pleasantries around the grounds. But that quickly changed. I know it's not proper for a young lady to pursue a gentleman. But once I knew his feelings reciprocated my own, why shouldn't I have followed my heart?
Love transcends professional and societal rules.
The mere thought of him was enough to make me blush. But I knew that Madame would never give her blessing. If we wanted to continue, we would have to do so in secret. The summer evenings here are just so beautiful. I often find myself walking around the grounds after my daily duties are complete. And it was one such evening that Luke was waiting for me at the gazebo. He looked ever so handsome. And the poem he had prepared, he had barely started reading and I was already a blubbering mess. Standing there beneath the warm glow of the falling sun, he asked for my hand, and I gave him my heart with no hesitation. Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I've been chattering on for so long. You have much more pressing matters than to listen to me rambling aimlessly.
One should never apologize for such a charming and bewitching story of love. But you are correct. While the culprit still eludes us, my work is not yet complete.
O amor que Mademoiselle Elizabeth e Luke têm um pelo outro é evidente, e ainda assim ela se mantém fiel às regras da Madame. Mesmo sendo uma regra ridícula. Não consegui enxergá-la ainda contra seu código de ética e roubando o bracelete. A investigação continua.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your assistance has been invaluable.
Ok, então. Ok, temos um romance proibido na casa. Agora a gente tem que falar com a Florette. E depois com a outra moça lá.
Anything to show you I didn't do it. And madame, I need this job, monsieur.
Foi você quem retirou o pacote esta manhã enquanto estava na cidade?
Yes. Another thing on my to-do list. I'm afraid it's not in the same condition as when I picked it up.
At whose request?
It was a favor for Lizzie. I didn't mind having to get it.
Merci. I shall take everything you have told me into consideration.
Eu acho que agora eu tenho que falar com a Elizabeth de novo. Tá, falei com ela. Ao retornar para casa, Florette foi observada de perto por Cassandra. Cassandra maltratou Florette anteriormente.
This will not get me any closer.
Really?
Some would say a lucky guess.
Ok. Como ela estava constantemente ocupada e sob intensa supervisão de Madame, Florette não teve a oportunidade para pegar o bracelete. Então, por que Madame a acusaria? Florette não tinha oportunidade de pegar o bracelete. E ela diz que é inocente.
Not on impulse.
Ok, what is it? Tá.
Things are beginning to become...
Será que Madame aproveitaria a oportunidade para melhorar sua situação financeira e continuar escondendo suas dívidas? Florette foi um bode expiatório. Maravilha. Manhã de Elizabeth, Angeline limpou não sei o que das quantas. Eu ainda tenho que falar com a Angeline aqui pra algumas coisas.
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
Ela deve ter usado o pano para proteger as mãos da fuligem ao tentar mexer dentro da chaminé. Angeline mexeu dentro da chaminé. Converse. Inspecione a chaminé do quarto de Angeline. É porque ela tava com a manga suja, não faria sentido. Antes de examinar, fico imaginando se Mademoiselle Angeline percebeu a saída repentina de Madame. Eu vou perguntar pra ela as coisas que eu tenho que perguntar.
The longer you are here, the further the criminal goes with my bracelet. But by all means, fire away.
Ah, você diria que a sua mamãe está feliz com o serviço da jovem
Maman is
Florette?
never happy with anything these days. Also, Florette does have a habit of not doing things exactly how Maman wants them done.
And how does she react when she sees Florette not doing things the correct way?
Maman has the temperament of a kicked cat. Florette has often been on the wrong side of it.
That is how she responded today?
She was shouting at her, and when Florette would not admit she took the bracelet, Maman really lost her temper. I have not seen her that angry before.
Ah, devo presumir que o quadro quebrou por
How
acidente?
should I know? I returned to the room and Father was face down on the floor. It must have been the burglar.
So it is your father that is the subject.
Isn't he handsome? I remember watching him sit for it. He kept looking across and smiling at me. The artist was getting awfully angry at him.
Ah, se Mademoiselle não se importa assim, satisfazer minha curiosidade. Poderia me falar mais sobre o seu
Maman
pai?
never wants to talk about him. She says it's too hard, but she acts more like she doesn't even care he's gone.
I'm sure that is not the case. It must have been very hard for her, for you both.
I miss him every day. He always knew how to put a smile on my face. I remember how much fun we would have, all three of us. In the summer, Father and I would play hide and seek while Maman read. She always helped me though whenever it was his turn to hide. I would stand in the gazebo, cover my eyes and count, and when I turned, he was nowhere to be seen. Maman would lower her book and flash a look towards his hiding spot. After I found him, he clapped and cheered as though I had won a gold medal. When I was hiding, it didn't matter where I was. He could never find me. I always thought I was an expert hider, but when I think back now, I know he was letting me win. He always said my smile was prize enough for him. He always knew just what to say.
I am sure he would want you to be smiling today, even under such circumstances.
Ao ver o relato de Angelina, começa a entender por que ela sente tanta falta dele. É uma tragédia a perda do pai amado e marido.
You have been of great help to my investigation, mademoiselle. I will do everything I can to find the culprit and return your bracelet.
Eu tô sentindo que o culpado está mais perto do que pensamos. Literalmente, pelo visto é uma daquelas ocasiões em que eu tenho que literalmente sujar minhas mãos. Aqui está o bracelete, foi cuidadosamente escondido dentro da caixinha de metal retangular. Ok. A Cassandra foi agressiva com Florette. Florette
I must
estava
take a different
chorando.
approach if I am to uncover the truth.
Aqui.
What a revelation!
Tudo indica que Florette vem sendo tratada duramente por Madame. Será que este abuso tem piorado? Florette foi maltratada. Florette estava
Not get me
chorando.
any closer to my goal.
Come on, people!
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
O confinamento dela parece ter sido o último de uma série de abusos cometidos por Madame. Estou certo de que a jovem Florete seja inocente, mas tenho dúvidas quanto ao comportamento de Madame Van der Bosch. Se o que fiquei sabendo for verdade, a patroa tratava a Florete de forma deplorável. Tá, eu tenho que conversar com o Florete. E aqui também tem coisa. Achamos o bracelete e a caixinha de joias. Escondeu seus bens mais preciosos na chaminé. Ah. Alguém tentou arrombar a janela por dentro.
Magnifique.
Ah, encenar um arrombamento e deixar que a situação chegasse a este ponto é totalmente inaceitável. Não acredito que deixei Mademoiselle Angeline me enganar por tanto tempo, escondendo o bracelete dentro da chaminé e forjando o roubo. Tudo parte de seu plano frio e calculista. Eu deveria encerrar aqui a investigação. Já desperdicei muito do meu tempo, mas não ficarei satisfeito até descobrir o porquê. Ah, fale com Elizabeth. Ok, a gente tem que falar agora com a Elizabeth e com a Florette. Gente, essa lafrariazinha escondeu o bracelete. Mano do céu.
Certainly, officer.
Ah, estou pronto para falar com todos da casa. Creio que chegou a hora de revelar o verdadeiro por trás do bracelete. Na verdade, não.
Merci, madame.
Eu vou falar com a Florette primeiro. Porque eu falei que eu tinha que falar com ela. Eu quero falar com ela antes de chamar todo mundo.
Anything to show you I didn't do it. And madame, I need this job, monsieur.
Ah, então não foi a primeira vez que Madame Van der Bosch perdeu a cabeça com você, correto?
She never used to be such a witch. When the Viscount was alive, she was much nicer. He was the head of the house, he gave the orders, and he treated us right. I would have gone long ago, monsieur. But my family can't afford for me to be picky about my employment.
I was not aware you were supporting your family, and at such a young age.
Papa lost his job at the factory just before he left for good, so Mama had to work even more. I was old enough, so I went to work. When I joined the Van den Bosch house, the Viscount was very kind. I didn't think he would care, but he wanted to help. He gave me some extra in my first pay pack, enough to keep the landlord from kicking Mama out at least. No one had ever been that nice before. I didn't know what to say, but all he wanted me to do was work hard for her. He even let me to go home and visit Mama and my brothers at Christmas, with a food parcel from the kitchen. Mama said she had never seen so much food. It's always been hard for her. Even before he left for good, Papa wasn't around much, and even when he was, we both wished he wasn't. My brothers were too young to remember what he was like, I hope. When I walked in Mama's house, everything seemed so much smaller. I must have got too used to the size of this house. I swear, you could fit our house in just this lounge. We didn't have much, but we didn't want for much. It was simple and it was home.
The valuables in the house do not determine the love it shares.
Someone should tell Madame that. Not that she'd listen anyways.
I will uncover the truth of what happened today, mademoiselle. That, I promise you.
A natureza gentil do Visconde mais uma vez é lembrada com carinho. A forma como ele tratava os criados contrasta demais com o jeito de Madame. Pela forma como a jovem mademoiselle fala da família dela, não consigo acreditar que ela arriscaria o próprio emprego para colocá-los em posição ainda pior.
Merci. I shall take everything you have told me into consideration.
Ok, vamos chamar geral para expor essa coisa aqui. Vai, vambora. Vamos chamar geral.
Certainly, officer.
Estou pronto para falar com todos da casa. Creio que chegou a hora de revelar a verdade por trás do desaparecimento do bracelete.
And the bracelet.
Everything will be revealed in good time. Would you be so kind as to gather everyone in the lounge?
Of course.
Agora sim,
Merci,
vamos lá.
Mademoiselle Elizabeth, for gathering everyone. Will Madame Van den Bosch be joining us shortly?
She stormed past me not long ago, and I've not seen her return.
Very well. Under usual circumstances, I would wait. But I think we have spent enough time on this matter, n'est-ce pas? We shall have to proceed without her. This morning started like any other. My usual ordinary patrol, until I was approached by Mademoiselle Elizabeth about a suspected burglary and a missing bracelet.
A crime I've been falsely blamed for.
That I shall come to. I began my investigation outside, but it was not long before I realized there were no signs of an intruder, so I turned my focus to those in the house. You. Florette, your time here at the house has not always been the easiest for you, shall we say.
I do what Madame tells me.
And to the highest standard, I presume.
Madame's standards are very high. I do my best.
And you would at least expect fair treatment for the work, not to be spoken to in such a cruel and vicious way.
Monsieur?
I referred to how poorly Madame Van den Bosch treats you. You are at her beck and call, and she does nothing but belittle you.
That is Maman you're talking about. Just wait until...
It is nothing but the truth I speak, mademoiselle. All the while, mademoiselle stands by and does not even notice such cruelty. That must have angered you. Perhaps you thought it was time they deserved some retribution.
Stop trying to put words in her mouth.
I am merely giving her a voice, one that has been silenced for so long.
Ooh!
Maybe I do think she deserves it. She's had the world handed to her on a plate, and the likes of me get nothing. Doesn't make me the thief, though.
A motive begins to rear its head.
You're just trying to get me to admit to something. Well, I've done nothing.
Allow me to finish. I am sure you will want to hear what follows. Let us return to this morning.
A sua missão era ir até a cidade buscar o café da manhã para os moradores da casa. Além do café da manhã, você tinha outra missão. Isso fez com que você se atrasasse ainda mais, correto?
I was only trying to help.
As any friend would, even knowing your late return would anger Madame Van den Bosch further. But in the matter of the missing bracelet, it gave you a rather solid alibi.
I told you I didn't do it!
There is no feasible way that you could have made it into Mademoiselle Angeline's room while she was present with Mademoiselle Elizabeth, removed the bracelet, and still completed your duties. Which takes us to Mademoiselle Elizabeth. Mademoiselle Elizabeth, you have been with the Van den Bosch family for quite some time now, correct?
That is correct.
You have grown close with both ladies of the house and your fellow members of the house staff, would you?
Of course. And I certainly hope they feel the same.
Vocês contam segredos deles. Ainda alguns assuntos privados do que os outros não estão cientes. Se eu falar segredos, vai parecer que ela está escondendo alguma coisa que eu não acho bom. Vou falar assuntos privados.
Officer, please.
Elizabeth, what is he talking about?
I am referring to the lengths Mademoiselle Elizabeth has gone to remain in your maman's employment.
It is Madame's house. She can enforce whatever rules she chooses.
Even if they are going against the very nature and cornerstone of man, to love.
I still do not understand.
Nossa
Perhaps
senhora.
that is best for everyone. It is neither my place nor my want to make this situation any more awkward than it needs to be.
Oh, thank you.
Besides, it was not that story that cleared Mademoiselle Elizabeth's name. Rather, Florette's.
Florette's? But she was not here for most of the morning.
But when she was, more precisely while preparing the table in the lounge, she noted that, against regularity, you arrived alone for breakfast, without Mademoiselle Angeline by your side.
I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
It means that I found myself with two suspects with potential motives. But with a lack of opportunity, I was left with only one. Mademoiselle Angeline.
You can't believe I would hide my own bracelet.
É a única explicação restante, mas talvez Florete queira ouvir a verdade a vinda de você. Acho que chegou a hora de contar a verdade. Essa farsa já foi longe demais.
The whole truth. Perhaps then we can all understand why you felt your actions were necessary.
I have nothing to say.
Você prefere que um membro fiel da criadagem seja responsabilizado por seus atos juvenis e imaturos? Oh! Você agiu por medo, ao que todos entendemos bem. Estou surpreso por sua falta de compaixão. Pelo visto, a filha de peixe bichinho é.
How dare you speak to me like that? You have no idea what you're talking about.
Sei que perder um pai assim tão jovem deve ser uma experiência horrível e assustadora. Talvez não consiga conversar dizer a verdade. Quem sabe sua mamã. Você pode confiar. Nela você pode confiar, estou certo. Vamos com o pai.
She had no right. It's all I have left of him. I had to do something.
So, you sent Mademoiselle Elizabeth down to breakfast alone, allowing you to be alone to hide it.
It's not like I planned it. I didn't think anyone would look in the chimney.
What I still do not understand is where you thought this would end. What did you think would happen once Madame knew of its disappearance?
I don't know. I just couldn't let her auction it off, just like everything else.
But you could stand by while Florette took the blame.
I didn't mean for her to get into trouble. How was I to know the police would be called?
When something appears to have been stolen, it is not uncommon to call on them. Even with my arrival, you still said and did nothing. It is your actions that have brought us to this point. You did not think of the consequences. And now, you must face them head on.
Maman, you're home.
Of course I am. And I've brought someone that will bring some order to this chaos.
Major Felix Higham. Ele pode ter a patente de major do exército britânico, mas não creio que tenha autoridade para estar aqui. Eu acho que isso não lhe diz respeito. No que diz respeito às questões policiais, eu sou a autoridade. Claro que o major não vai tentar se impor sobre você, Poirot. Muito bom. Essa investigação é minha, não permitirei mais que uma dama imponha suas vontades.
Major, I can assure you, I have this situation under control.
From what I have heard, you are far from it.
Falei.
The missing bracelet has been found, and the guilty party has been identified.
I'm well aware that the maidservant was behind it all. And yet I see her standing as free and innocent as you and me.
I am sure Madame Van den Bosch has informed you of her suspicions, but I'm afraid it was merely speculation.
Excuse me?
After conducting a full investigation, the evidence and facts led me to deduce...
Mademoiselle Florette não teria como rodar objetos, já que estava na cidade boa parte da manhã, inclusive no momento em que o bracelete foi levado. Mademoiselle Angeline confirmou. Foi quem escondeu o bracelete. Ela tinha suas razões e... Eu não sei...
I certainly hope you are not accusing my daughter of...
I'm sorry, Maman. He's right. Florette is innocent. I just wanted to...
Shh, girl. I will not have you guilted into taking the blame for that sticky-fingered girl.
Mas o bracelete foi encontrado. Tecnicamente nada foi roubado. Madame Van der Bosch se recusa a aceitar o que realmente aconteceu aqui. Não permitirei que isso continue. Madame Van der Bosch, talvez fosse melhor escutar o que Mademoiselle Angeline tem a dizer. A culpa que sua filha sente é em decorrência das ações dela hoje. Melhor escutar o que sua filha tem a dizer.
Perhaps it would benefit you to remember you are nothing more than a simple officer of the law.
Officer Poirot, a word. Madame Van den Bosch was forced to make her way to inform me, alone, I might add, of the goings-on at the house today.
Major, with all due respect, she was impeding the investigation.
Ok, isso você não deveria ter falado.
This may be how some officers act in the city, but here we show respect to our citizens. You are an officer of the law and should act as such. Insubordination like this will not be tolerated.
Meu Deus, homem.
As the ranking officer, I have conducted my investigation and...
Ranking officer? Ha! You are an auxiliary officer. You have little authority over anyone, let alone a major. You would be wise to remember who is close friends with your commanding officer.
Nossa, o cara vai ameaçando assim na cara de pau?
After what I have heard of your past in the city, I'm sure he would look upon today's events as another failure at the hands of Officer Poirot.
Por mais absurda que toda essa conversa seja, devo escolher bem minhas batalhas. Só posso esperar que o capitão da delegacia veja as coisas como elas são.
Oui, Major.
A gente teve que se rebaixar, é sério?
Now I suggest you do your duty and escort the maidservant to the station where she can be formally charged and a sufficient punishment handed out.
Right away.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, mademoiselle. This is not the outcome I expected.
Maman was right. We'll always pay the price for the upper class's actions.
We will do everything we can to clear your name.
What can you do now? Madame said I'm guilty of a crime and I'll be punished. That's that.
A crime that was never committed. Once the truth is explained, this wrong shall be set right.
Angeline did not intend for you to be arrested. Surely you know her better than that.
I should have known better than to expect anything else. Justice and fairness don't reach the likes of me.
Essa jovem já foi muito maltratada nas mãos de Madame Van der Bosch. Não permitirei que ela continue sendo punida.
What you saw today was not justice. In the eyes of the law, you are innocent and had been harshly treated and wrongly accused. No one will be going to jail.
But that doesn't help my employment, does it?
That I cannot save. But your freedom, I shall make sure of that.
Sinto-me como um impostor vestindo o uniforme policial. Fui trazido aqui como representante da lei e qualquer traço de autoridade que eu, porventura, teria foi apagado pela presença do major. Eu falei que o major não ia ficar quieto. Recuso-me a permitir que a justiça seja manipulada nas mãos daqueles que desejam controlá-la, para agirem como bem entenderem. Não é a primeira vez que vejo a lei ser distorcida para se adaptar aos propósitos alheios, mas garanto que nunca mais permitirei que isso aconteça.
Detective Poirot, I trust this finds you well. It has been many years since our paths last crossed, and while I'm sure your recollection of the events may differ from mine, I hope that receiving this letter has not rekindled a sense of animosity toward myself or the Van der Bosch name. The impression you made is something that has stayed with me since that day. It compelled me to reconsider the spoilt young lady I would have inevitably become and helped shape me into the woman I wished to be. You made me see the childish and selfish girl in me that did not consider the consequences of her actions or how they may affect others. Although Maman may see the events of that day differently, I believe the compassion you showed for our mate Florette, as well as the drive to uncover the truth and accept no alternative, was a testament to your character and professionalism. Although I wish it were under different circumstances, your assistance is once again required, and I hope you will consider this as my formal request for your service. This forthcoming weekend was due to be one full of joy and happiness at the announcement of my engagement to Gideon Demire, whom I love dearly, bringing together two illustrious families, but it has been shadowed by deceit, extortion, and blackmail. The Van der Bosch name is being held to ransom by a mysterious party, and I am afraid I do not know who I can and cannot trust. We are holding a small gathering to celebrate our exciting news with what Maman calls the dignified elite, those that are well respected and held in high regard in both
O Major tá lá também?
inner circle and society.
Legal.
Our private matters have always remained just that, so I fear one of those invited
may be the person who is out to ruin our name, but for reasons I cannot fathom. I have enclosed a first-class rail ticket for you to join us for the announcement, and having contacted your superiors and the correct authorities to request your assistance, which they were more than happy to grant me, I shall expect your arrival with great anticipation. There shall be a carriage waiting for you at the station to bring you directly to Mnemosyne House. I thank you in advance in our time of crisis. Yours respectfully, Angeline van der Bosch.
Ah, tá. Então depois que você fez cagada e mandou alguém pra cadeia, agora você quer ajuda de novo porque seu nome tá em perigo, coração? Nossa, claro. Oxe. Capítulo 1. A chantagem. Nossa, Poirot tá careca. Tadinho. Mas tudo bem. Finalmente cheguei. Minha prioridade é sair deste frio penetrante antes de congelar completamente. Ok. Não devo me distrair com as comemorações. Trouxeram-me aqui para descobrir a identidade do chantagista de Mademoiselle Angeline e é exatamente isso que farei. Meu Deus, quanta coisa já. Um caso de chantagem. Quem que tá chantageando? Qual o motivo? Não, por quê? Qual é a chantagem, né? Qual instrumento ou ferramenta ou arma usado pelo criminoso? Itens, onde, quando, como... Muita coisa. Mas por hoje a gente vai ficando por aqui. Deixa um comentário se você quer mais vídeo como esse. Curte pra saber que vocês estão gostando desse tipo de conteúdo. E a gente se vê na próxima semana. Valeu, falou!